Hi guys, my name is Meets, and this is our video response to Giltar. I created a video about change evolution of collecting habits, and I'm actually in the same boat. I've been collecting for about 3 years now. Many of you can see on my channel, it kind of evolved from super deformed mall kits, the Gundam ones, and moved up to high grades, and I started collecting figures, from SH Figure Arts, the Dragon Ball line, uh, Ultra Axe, let's see, Monster Arts, Play Arts, Super Robot Chigokins. Well, I don't really review them as much, but I'm getting there. I have quite a handful of them. Figmas. What else? Trying to think. The Arts. And pretty much everything Bandai throws at us, and just, oh, I want that. Robot Damages, and many more. And that's just, the figure line. There's a lot of mall kits I've been trying also from Kotobukiya, Wave, even the third party ones. Anything that looks awesome, I will try it. And over those 3 years, I've acquired a massive collection. And like Giltar, you get to the point where you don't have space. I think a lot of us eventually get to that point. And I felt that, that became more evident when I moved, where about a fourth of my collection is that was displayed before, or maybe about a third of them was displayed before. Now I cannot display them because just limited space, and they're boxed, and most of which are just out of the box built kits that I haven't had a chance to work on yet. I kind of just like to display the ones that I have already finished or actually cool looking, just out of the box builds. That's that. And again, I get to the point where half my collection is figures, half I collect is small kits. Yeah. And I really need to follow Giltar, where I have to sell some of the ones, or actually sell a majority of them that I don't no longer like, to make room for new ones and actually help me fund my hobby to buy new ones. That way I will be able to save more. In some ideal sense is, uh, you know, for someone like someone in my shoe where I do reviews, um, I get stuff, I review them, then after a while, I sell them, let go of them. That way, say, uh, I will have some money back to spend on future collection, as well as free up some space. That is the ideal way to do it, I would say, as a reviewer. But clearly, that's not what's happening. uh, After a while, when you're collecting, you just grow this attachment to your collection, and it's really hard to what do you call this? Decide which one should let go. Not only that, you get to the point that you grow an attachment to them, and you just don't want it to go to someone who would not appreciate it, or I would say scalpers. Because after a while, some of my collection is worth a lot more than what I paid for, since they're out of print, don't make it anymore, or just a lot of demand for it. But yeah, again, we're not making it anymore. So what do you do with that? I mean, you could sell them at the, well, how much you paid for. I mean, that's gonna be, it's gonna sell right away. But the thing is, you don't want it to go to someone who will sell for a higher price, and it makes you think like, why don't I just sell at a higher price than the market value? And on that topic, what about if I sell it to my friends? Yeah, you get to the dilemma of selling to your friends at how much you got it for, or even less, since they're secondhand, but they're actually worth more, even if they are secondhand. And you get a dilemma: do you sell it to your friend, or do you want to make more money? And that question rises a lot, and it kind of makes you wonder, what what's the proper way. And sometimes I'm honest to my friends and saying I cannot sell it to them because I want to sell it for more, and I don't want to chip them. I mean, I am literally, well, I'm selling it lower than the asking price, but still a lot more than what I paid for it. And in some sense, not fair, but it's just they're worth more now. Uh, yeah. So I need to get, I need to sort out my things. I need to let go, and I think that's just the next step. Sort things out, and yeah. So that's that. He also talks about the upcoming ones on the future or next year, 2014. His goal, he's gonna be collecting more of the high-end stuff. And for me, I think I'm already doing a little bit of both. I am collecting the more higher end stuff, as well as buying smaller things. A good comparison to that is I've been buying robot machines. And some of them are exclusives, and I've been buying more master grades. And I'm comparing that to the Assault King of the small Gundam figures and Super Deforms. Why do you buy both? And I have my reasons. I buy the Super Deforms because they look cool, they're small, they're cute, and they have the gimmicks. Same thing with the Soul Kingdom. They're small, they have awesome articulation, and they have gimmicks too. You can combine the base. Likewise, the higher end stuff has more quality, but yeah, there's just so many to collect. It's really hard to justify, and for the most part, you just kind of let your impulse take over and buy them, which I should really put some control on. Again, it's really hard as a collector. Yeah, and again, getting back, you get to the point really when you have a lot of things pre-ordered, and actually, I want to share something. I find that when you first start out, you're gonna be in the same boat with a lot of people, like wanting to have more, and you have this sense of excitement that, oh, I want to buy that. I want to buy a lot of kits because you're just new to it and you find everything really awesome, and you're sharing that want with a lot of people, also with your peers. All you guys want to buy the latest and greatest things, and that really actually amplifies, especially again when you're talking with someone who wants to buy the awesome things. And once you start buying that, comparing with other people, it's great. But now comes the part where, actually, I think I remember back then there was one guy, actually, he's a kid. I think he's a little bit well off. He was able to buy he has a perfect grade and other cool stuff. And it's kind of like a love hate. For one, you kind of idolize that guy. You want to be that guy to be able to get the awesome stuff, the expensive ones. At the same time, you're really jealous of that guy. Like, I wish I was that guy. And you get to the point where it seems like the guy is just bragging. Yep. Who would want to, hang out with someone who's just bragging? But when you get to the point where you're that guy, and now I realize now that guy is just sharing, because again, our hobby of collecting, it's a small niche. Not a lot of people collect, and some of people can actually collect because of they have responsibilities. I mean, for me, I'm lucky enough to do this. I'm just in the right setting, a point of my life where I have a good paying job. I live in a more, I guess, a higher standard of living area because I'm getting paid a lot in some sense. But in the same sense, in where I live, I'm getting paid average. But compared to everywhere else, I'm getting paid a lot. Yeah, but again, higher standard of living, but rent here is ridiculous. Welcome to the Bay Area, I guess. But getting back, but still, I still get a couple of money to spend on the hobby, and that's a lot compared to other. And that's the reason why I'm able to buy a lot of cool figures and mold kits, as you can see on my channel. And again, I'm very lucky. I'm just living in the right moment, I would say. And where is my train of thought again? Oh yeah, there we go. So again, you get to the point where you're able to buy a lot of cool stuff, and you kind of felt left out. And now I'm feeling that because a lot of the friends I used to talk about this, they had different priorities now. Some people just get burned out. Some people don't have the budget anymore, or they kind of move on with their lives. And some people still there, still want to buy stuff, but they don't have the budget for it. And you get to the point where you're the person able to buy the cool stuff, and you just want to share it because they're your friends. You went through the hobby with them, wanting to improve yourself in terms of model building and getting more stuff in terms of collection building, and you kind of leave them behind in terms of getting more stuff. But still they're the only people that you share stuff with, and you get to the point where it just seems like you're just bragging. But I'm not bragging. I want to share. And sometimes when I meet my friends, I would bring some of my figures over and just to have them play with it, take a look at it, how awesome it is. And sometimes when I just bought something from Tatsu Hobby, I open the box right there and just tell them, this is awesome, and just hand it to them and just play with it. And actually, for them, they're kind of scared. They don't want to break it, which is understandable. But still, I want to share some of my stuff. And again, I had the idea before having a club where each one will collect a certain line, and you do a meeting and you do a show and tell. That way, some people who have limited budget wants to try, like me, like myself. I like to try a lot of things. Just want to play around with it for certain amount of time, but doesn't really want to have it afterwards. They just want to try. And some of the stuff I got, I just want to try it, and I should be selling those. But I still end up just keeping them. Yeah, but anyways, getting back to it. Yeah, I mean, I get that I just did a point where things change. Getting back to the topic, which I got sidetracked. So, how does my collection go now? I mean, I have pre-orders. Um, I got pre-orders from AmiAmi in terms of Figma, and I would say cool figures and certain mold kits that it's not Bandai related. Usually I get my Bandai related stuff from Tatsu Hobby, and that's where I get my Gundam stuff too. So I have two sources every month where I pick up stuff, and I'm actually I starting to cut back. Oh, in terms of mold kits, I mean I will pick a kit like there's a Master Grade of Marsai. I will pick a Master Grade probably I would say once a month, and I would pick up a few high grades. I would say probably 2 or 3 a month, and a couple of super deforms. So that's about 5 kits a month. And honestly, I don't have the time to build 5 kits. Yeah, I get to the point where it takes me a lot longer to build and detail them. I guess I'm just being more meticulous in terms of painting them. or sometimes it just takes me a while to get motivated and finding the right color scheme that I want to. I would say I probably build 3 kits, um, maybe 5 at the most a month. So sometimes some of those kits just get backlogged. But sometimes I would build a kit that I had a backlog off it. I mean, a kit that was backlogged probably 2 years ago. I'll pick it up and build. It just again, it just depends. But yeah, I really need to cut back. And actually, um, tattoo hobbies sometimes get their stuff early, and I will ask Alex to hold off on one of them I really want it. And you get to the point where you get it, but you don't want to build it yet because you have other stuff. So basically, I got to the point that I stopped getting stuff right off the bat. I just let other people who want to get it right away have it, and I'll just wait for the second or third wave. Or if I'm ready to build it, I'll buy it. And again, you run into that notion that what if they don't make it anymore? Actually, just like a month ago, the Noble Gundam, it's out of print, the normal version. Like it's hard to get it. There are other kits out there that are kind of out of print, and you kind of just wait for Bandai to rerun that on their press, make more. But yeah, it's just you would think they're actually some of them are still around, and I think if you just look hard enough, you'll find Noble Gundam out there. But yeah, I mean, it's a matter of do you just want to stack up on kits? But there's always new kits coming out, so what's the rush, or why save them? You just build new kits. Other than that, it's well, again, I'm trying to decide what kits I should get, and if it can wait, it'll wait, and that's kind of like my new policy now. But there are certain kits that you just want to get, like this is Zombie Burka. It's coming out. I can't wait to build that. And yeah, other than that, there was another part that I was. This is actually my second take. It there is a good topic I keep forgetting towards the end of this. But yeah, that's pretty much it for my video response. Eventually. Oh, there we go. I finally remember it. And I think ideally, like what I was telling before, you buy, you review, and sell it back. That was ideal. But I think as most collectors, I think eventually the best route to go is just set up a store. I mean, sometimes it's just a matter of the hunt, getting it right away. And if you think about it, if you have a store, you get stuff on a regular basis. You're gonna have a massive inventory, but you're actually selling them. And sometimes you just want to have the box. You don't really have to build it. And sometimes you want to keep one. That's great. But I think ideally, a collector should go the route of actually setting up a store. And it doesn't have to be a storefront, but I mean, you can start just selling online. And I think that's basically, I would say, the route to go to as a collector eventually. And yeah, I think that's about it for my response. It's a bit lengthy, and hope you're not just staring at me. I like to do videos like this and just listen to them while I work on building mold kits. Actually, I'm working on my Gundam X Mao box art. From the Build Fighters. This is awesome. I'm actually thinking of grabbing my X divider, the high grade. I haven't built it yet, but when I get around to it, maybe combine them to make a Mao divider or something. I think that'll be cool. Yeah, that's pretty much it for my response. I hope you find this informative. But again, bottom line is, as a collector, you should enjoy your collection. And when you get to the point where you're not appreciating it as much, you should start to reconsider buying habits. At first you're gonna be impulse buying, but later on, you gotta think about it really well before you buy something, before you hit that buy now or add to your cart. And also on sales, even though they're very tempting to buy in bulk, you gotta consider the backlog and storage you have. But sometimes we're just stubborn. You gotta learn it the hard way. Anyways, that's it for my video response. Hope you guys like it. So until then, this is Meets. Thank you for watching.